Happy
Happy
scrolling.
happy scrolling. Did you just say happy scrolling, Klein? All right, we've just freaked out Klein.
Welcome to South Jersey Girls. I'm Klein Aliardi.
I'm Jane Feld.
I'm Elyse Notariani.
And I'm Marianne Aliardi.
Later today in the episode, we're going to have an interview with Dr. Jen Caudle. But first, we're going to try to cure Elyse of her TikTok addiction.
No.
Oh my gosh.
I'm a huge proponent. And I think that there's the one hand of TikTok, which is, funny videos, lots of puppies and dances. And there's another side of TikTok that is people like showing off things they're really passionate about. So sometimes it's weird interests. Like without TikTok, I never would have known how many people like to dress up like fairies.
Did you feel you need to know that?
No, I feel my life is enhanced because I know that. Thank you for checking.
Have you joined in?
No, I just watch.
I vote that happens.
But there are people who are really using it for advocating for certain things. So I've fallen into disability awareness TikTok, where you learn a lot about how, things people are going through and how they prefer you as an able-bodied person interact with them, which is great. I'm on Indigenous TikTok, so I'm learning a lot about Indigenous cultures.
So when you say you're on Indigenous TikTok, what does that mean?
So TikTok has a really sophisticated algorithm where it will track what you're watching, what you're interacting with, how long you're watching things. It will give you videos that are like that.
Isn't that the same for every social media outlet though? Like Facebook does the same thing.
I think
Instagram.
it just gets more specific for TikTok.
Also, so I think the difference is that with YouTube or Facebook, you can choose kind of a little bit what's on there, whereas TikTok just gives you things. So sometimes you fall into things you don't want to be in. Like I was in Harry Potter TikTok for a while and I wasn't interested in it, but I kept getting.
You didn't want to be in Harry Potter TikTok? Why?
I love Harry Potter, but I don't need to see people dressed up like Hogwarts people every day.
Oh, that's valid.
But you need to see fairies, people dressed up as fairies.
I don't need to see it, but I'm not upset that I am seeing it.
So tell me, when are you on TikTok?
Sometimes a couple minutes at a time, and then sometimes it's like an hour and a half. So I'll tell you, last night I was on it from 10:30 to midnight. But I learned so much.
About
What'd you learn?
I got a lot of videos of I think it's Inuit throat singing. Is my dog crying really loud? I'm so sorry.
It cries a lot, right? Does your dog cry?
All the time. He's got a hard life. All he does is cry.
Life's hard for a dog.
It is.
Elyse, when was Facebook your first account?
I think I got a Facebook when I was in 8th grade, judging by the photo albums available, which are all private.
Oof.
Do you still have like your 8th grade Facebook photos on your Facebook account?
You can't see them, but I can see them.
But I'm surprised that you both had them in 8th grade, because it was supposed to be that none of the younger people were in it because their parents were there.
That wasn't until later.
Yeah, no, not them, because I remember when the girls got on, I told them they could only do it if they were friends with me. And then every one of their friends friended me. And then I would go on Facebook and it was like, I have got to get away from these teen girls. I mean, it was a nightmare.
All the parents being on, that's how it is now. Like all of my friends' parents.
That was like the real novelty of all these people in your life you haven't seen from high school and college. And when I lived in New York, it's exciting for 2 minutes to look at their stuff and then you're like, whatever.
Do you use Instagram a lot?
If I'm out in nature and I do a pretty picture, I like to post it, and I like to see other people's stuff like that, especially in this pandemic with stress levels high. That's the one social media where it's just an escape because it's mostly pretty things.
That's exactly how I feel about Instagram. And then with the stories, I definitely started doing stories more than my posts because I found that's what you do. But the stories I always found odd. I didn't understand what they were for. And then Mary Rose, my youngest, said to me, that's how people express who they are creatively. I was like, oh, okay.
Wow. Yeah, I only look at stories because I think those are interesting. Yeah. I don't want to see people's feeds. I don't want to see your pretty pictures. I'm not interested in everyone's fake life.
Oh, I guess people do put,
Wait, are you saying that the pictures on Instagram aren't totally real?
No.
I'm so sorry.
No. I think the people that I follow, I'm not really following influencers. It's not totally fake. I mean, nobody's putting up a bad picture. They're putting up their prettiest picture. But I don't feel like it's totally a misrepresentation of who they are.
It's not that you're making stuff up. You're just putting a filter on your life.
And I do that too.
And literally.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You are putting filters on that.
Right.
Yeah.
When this was all just starting and kids were begging to be on accounts. Weren't you guys worried about, like, had you heard rumors of bullying online?
Online? No.
I wrote a story for SJ Magazine 10 years ago on cyberbullying.
That was our cover story.
And that wasn't a concern?
That was a crazy concern for me. I tried to keep my kids off of it, and actually they don't really care about it.
Did anybody ever cyberbully anybody? Like, I feel like I definitely had moments where some kid is probably looking back at their formative years and been like, Elyse might not have been great. I wasn't a bad kid, but you just...
What did you do?
I don't know. Sometimes you just say things. And I think it's okay to admit that sometimes when you were a kid, you made bad choices.
I think I did that in person sometimes.
Wait, you know who thinks it's okay to admit that? The people who did bad things when they were a kid. Those people are the people who thinks it's okay to admit that.
Are you calling Elyse a bully?
Elyse, you're a bad kid.
No, I'm amazed by that.
I don't
Because for one thing, you're so sweet.
Bully. I don't think I was a bully. I don't think I was mean, but I think everyone has their moments. And I have 4 sisters. I don't know what too far is. That was usually the problem, is I would say something that, like, my sister would have said to me the night before. And they're like, hey, that's actually not okay. Please don't do that.
I think that social media brings out the worst passive aggressiveness.
Do you guys know what subtweeting is?
No, and I don't
it's
want
like
to.
Passive. It's passive aggressive on steroids. It's when you tweet about someone, but you don't name them or tag them. Like, you just tweet about them.
I've done this quite a bit.
Oh my God. What are you talking about?
I swear to God, this story is not about me. This is actually about my friend. She was seeing this guy, and then I think they were texting each other, and they said goodnight, and he sent a smiley face, and, like, she sent one back or something like that. And then, like, 2 hours later on his Twitter, he tweeted, "Girls love a smiley face," which was clearly about her. And that's a subtweet.
She saw it, though.
Yeah.
What did she do when she saw it?
The person who's being subtweeted about is meant to see it.
Yeah, I think it depends on the person who's doing the subtweeting.
Oh, was she insulted by it?
I didn't talk to her at the time about it, but in the moment, it's probably not that funny. You're probably like, oh my God.
Just exhausting.
I currently have a network of spies. I don't know who it is yet. If I tweet about my boyfriend, it will get back to him within 10 minutes.
Is he not on Twitter?
He is. He doesn't go on.
That's crazy to me, though, because, like, I never just say something that happened to my husband.
I just know John's gonna find out usually.
I never
bad, but it's a lot of it's funny, I think.
Like, he could set up email notifications and just get an email every time you mention him.
Oh, that's so much more effort. He would not do that.
Yeah.
No way. He could also just follow me. He doesn't do that.
He could.
He doesn't
follow you?
I don't think so.
Wow.
Come on.
He thinks my Twitter is exhausting.
All right, so Elyse, you're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Snap. You still on Snapchat?
Yeah.
Anything else?
Do you use Snapchat, though?
So my dog is currently sitting in a pile of eaten toilet paper with my bra around his neck, and I will Snapchat that to a handful of people. So I don't
know. I don't know how you do anything else.
I don't know. I'm not that social of a human being, so I don't scroll through a lot of these feeds. Sometimes on Twitter, I'll doom scroll if I really want to get upset about the world.
What's that?
You don't know what that is?
Doom scroll
is I've never heard of that before.
Send yourself down a really deep spiral of just awful social media.
So how do you determine that? Like, is it like I'm just going on Twitter and that's what will happen?
It's not on purpose.
Yeah, 99% of the time you just go on Twitter and you start doom scrolling.
Yeah.
That's what I got on TikTok for, because I was doom scrolling, and then I started
happy scrolling.
Happy scrolling. Did you just say happy scrolling, Klein? All right, we've just freaked out Klein because she and I said 2 times the same thing at the same time. I love that.
Oh my God.
That's so funny. Klein,
you're turning into your mother.
Oh my God. I love that.
That's so embarrassing. Today, I'm talking with Dr. Jen Caudle. You've probably seen her talk about health on programs including the Dr. Oz Show, the Steve Harvey Show, and a number of news networks. She also practices family medicine and is an associate professor at Rowan Medicine. So, Dr. Caudle, how are you?
Hi, it's great to be here. It's great chatting with you.
Most people know you have a huge online following. People look to you for health tips, just kind of sanity checks lately. If anyone listening isn't already following Dr. Caudle, you can find her pretty much everywhere: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, at Dr. Jen Caudle. How do you kind of balance interacting with people online with interacting with, your patients and your students in real time?
Yeah, I'm really lucky to have the opportunity to not only see patients a couple days a week, and of course, teaching my medical students and precepting residents, but I do a good amount of media work. Since the COVID pandemic, I actually started creating a lot of my own content, which I really hadn't done much before. Interacting with followers and trying to answer questions, hearing their concerns has actually been it's been really gratifying. But I think one of the biggest things it's let me know what's on people's minds. It's really informed me about what people worry about, what they're hearing on the street, the myths that they're grappling with, the situations that they're in at home.
Right. Social media, is just in everyone's lives every day now.
Yeah.
Has that changed the way that people talk about and maybe even act on their health?
I think so. Social media for me has changed a lot of things because sometimes I'm able to reach even more people than when I go on TV. With that comes the chance to sort of hopefully help inspire, good health changes and things like that. I mean, for example, I do a lot of segments and a lot of videos on flu shots. I talk about it so much. I'm sure people think that I'm over here making flu shots in my apartment or something. I don't know.
No, that's good because you actually just reminded me that I need to go get my flu shot. So
oh
that
my
is
God, yes.
perfect.
Please do.
Yes.
And we're still giving shots at Rowan Medicine, by the way. So just throwing a
There
little
you
plug out
go.
there.
Okay, that's easy.
Yep, we've got 4 locations. But no, what I was saying was there were 2 people yesterday, because of course I posted another flu shot video. 2 people said, I'd never gotten my flu shot. I've been watching your videos. I decided to get one. I got one last week. It went
Awesome.
okay, or I just got mine today. Like that kind of stuff, man. That's what this is all for. So
Yeah, that's amazing. Speaking of, there is so much going on right now. How do you decide what you're going to post about? Do you have a line? Because I know a lot of people struggle with, the personal side of their life and the business side when they're deciding how to show themselves.
I don't know. I think I don't have very many lines, and for better or for worse. But I think what I've realized and what works for me is my transparency and vulnerability is one of my strengths. I'm a normal person, and it's important. I really am, and it's important for me to show the people that I'm talking to that I am that as well, because in many ways it helps me reach them, and it's also how I connect to them. That's I get strength from feeling and being able to connect with my followers that way. Just went to the beauty shop, guys, and like, what do you think? Did you think it's too long? You think like that type of thing?
Yeah, and actually, side note, I just watched your video on Chris Rock on Trevor Noah on Daily Show.
Oh my God, yeah,
that was great. Also, I love your love for Trevor Noah because I share that.
God. He's a doll. Is he not adorable and like witty and funny and like amazing?
You got it down to a T. You explained my obsession.
We are together, and as I said in the video, I heard he's got a girlfriend. Happy for them, but
yes, exactly.
Just saying, hey Trevor, I'm out here just saying hi.
Obvious thing, if we're going to talk about social media, you have to talk about the fact that there is some negativity out there, and it's not always the best. Not everyone shares the love like we do.
That's so true.
So how do you handle that? Are you one of the people who looks at it and reads through it, or are you one of the people who ignores it completely?
Oh, I don't ignore it completely. And before COVID, the most negativity I ever got was about vaccines. I knew that every time I did a segment on vaccines, I was going to get people that were either anti-vaxxers or this or that or whatever. What's interesting is since COVID, masks, I call them anti-maskers. Anytime I do a video on masks, there are a number of people that will come on, and not only will they say masks don't work, you're fooling yourself, you're this or that, some expletives sometimes are involved. They attack my eyelashes. I've said this in my video. I know, it's the craziest thing. I have said this in my YouTube videos every time I go live, and I speak to my haters, because I'll be like, every time they attack me, they'll be like, and she got them long fake eyelashes. I'm like, what does my eyelashes have to do with the fact that, like, it's the craziest thing. They'll be like,
wild.
Yes, I know. If you see any of my mask videos and you care to look at the comments, like especially the ones that have gone viral, because sometimes those who are against my videos, help them go viral for
there you go.
hatred, right? For hatred reasons, which, by the way, I'm a fan of, because to answer your question about how does it make me feel, you know, it propels me further, because seeing all these people who have misconceived notions about masks means I need to be out here more. So it actually sort of reminds me and gives me encouragement to be like, no, we're not taking a day off. We're gonna keep at this, Jen.
Do you ever have days where you just feel a little like it's a little too much?
All the time, and especially with, you know, the election coming up, the political space that we're living in, the sort of the racial climate that we're in. We're literally in the middle of a racial reckoning, right, in this country. And then we've got COVID. And I mean, honestly, I have plenty of bad days, if that's what you're asking. And you know, I feel the Trevor Noah video with Chris Rock was really, and I talked about it in the video, it was a day I felt crappy. I literally just wanted to crawl under a rock. And for those of you listening, like, what's she talking about, Chris Rock? So the long and the short of it, for those who are listening, is Chris Rock did an interview with Trevor Noah, and he told him that he devotes 7 hours, what did I say, 7 hours a week to his mental, 7 hours a week, to his mental health. Trevor Noah kind of quipped and was like, oh man, really? Like, and Chris Rock made this really eloquent point that, hey, people spend an hour or two a day on their bodies working out. 7 hours a week is nothing. And it really made me think, and also made me not feel alone, that particular day that I wanted to crawl under a rock because I'm scared the world is going to fall down. What do I do when I have days like that? A couple tactics, honestly, is I'll post older videos. It's really important sometimes to recycle old stuff that I sometimes just don't have the strength to make something new. But I also think it's important to get the message out to people who had not heard that message before. What else do? I look for inspiration in places, or I allow myself to be inspired. Now, sometimes I don't find it, but when I do, I go with it. And sometimes I literally just can't deal. There's some days where I'm like, I can't look at Facebook right now, or my YouTube channel, or Instagram, and I don't. I have to shut it out. And to be honest with you, it's something I suggest my patients do that are feeling overwhelmed, is minimize the amount of news that you're consuming, minimize social media, take a tech break. All those things can be very helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. I liked that you made the point that sometimes you don't find inspiration because sometimes it just doesn't, just doesn't hit. You just have one of those days.
And sometimes you do need to just like find your own rock, whether it's your covers or whatever, and crawl under it. I think we need to normalize the fact that the space we're in right now in 2020 is not a normal space. And I think we need to be kind to ourselves and find ways to sort of cope and manage and deal in healthy ways as we're trying to swim our way out of it.
That was amazing. I feel like I should ask you a more upbeat question to end this.
Yes. I'm sorry if I took that. I'm sorry if I was a Debbie Downer.
No. I am very happy that you just said all of that, because it's very important. What's a happy question I can ask you? What are you most looking forward to, the back to normal?
Yeah, well, and that is a very happy question. By the way, that is something I encourage people to think about and like to set, like make a little list of like what you're going to do, right? Because it gives us something to look forward to. So for example, I have a subscription group on Facebook. It's a group of subscribers that subscribe to my channel. They get different content, and I do special lives for them and stuff. And I'm hosting a Thanksgiving Zoom party, yes, with my subscribers, which, by the way, can I just tell you, because I'm going to be quarantining in my apartment in Philadelphia by myself, because my parents are like, you ain't coming over here. And I'm not, right? I don't want to. My mother, I have asked her to overnight her stuffing and gravy to me. No lies there. No lies.
That's amazing. I love where your priorities are. It's fantastic.
It's all about the food, right? So short term, but big things. Oh, honey, I'm going to travel. I didn't travel as much as I should have. And now that I can't travel, like it was all for work and stuff. Oh, shoot. Look out. Okay.
Well, thank you so much for talking with me.
Of course. Thank you.
I am excited to watch more of your videos and have you keep me sane.
You're so sweet.
So thanks to Dr. Caudle for that awesome interview. Elyse, I don't know what happened. I did not cure you of your TikTok addiction, and I now want to get a TikTok.
Okay, thank you, because I got really offended when you told me that you haven't been watching the dozens of videos that I've had.
We'll see how that goes, but I'll give it a try. Thanks everyone for listening this week. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and leave us a review, and we'll see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye.